Ni hao, buddy. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that LaSteroid Daddy Hack IV, the 12-year-old menace, bought the Oakland A's and relocated and renamed them to the Shanghai Swamp Donkeys. The team full of junkies is currently 4-0, cause LaSteroid has been on an absolute terror with 2 walk-off piss-missile Swamp Donkeys so far and masterclass performances behind the plate. Let's head back over to Swamp Donkey Stadium in Shanghai for Game 5 of the season. We got Dylan, Ni Hao, Brooks on the bump today, so LaSteroid and the junkies are going to have to put up an absurd amount of runs to even think about winning. The greatest baseball player of all time steps in for his first at-bat and strokes that ball into the Shanghai stratosphere. See ya ball! In LaSteroid's next at-bat, he decided to catch the defense off guard and drop down a bunt. But if you think he's not turning this into a home run, you obviously have never heard of LaSteroid Daddy Hack. Look at these absolute idiots trying to steal bases on La Cannon. Not today, buddy. LaSteroid is going to be the reason their wives divorce these snails, out by a mile. Then in his next at-bat, you guessed it, he disgraces the pitcher's family with a 500-foot piss missile onto the mountains. But keep in mind, we still have Dylan Brooks on the mound. So in the bottom of the 9th, down 1, LaSteroid ties it up to keep things interesting. But you already know he had a master plan. LaSteroid stole 2nd and 3rd, and then finessed a pickle here to steal home and take the Shanghai Swamp Donkeys to 5-0. This team can't be stopped. Guess what their record will be at the end of the season? Drop predictions in the comments. LaSteroid picked up where he left off in the next game, once again slamming a lead-off Swamp Donkey piss missile, and then forgetting to touch second base because he pre-gamed at the Shanghai bars. Terrorized the pitcher again in his next at-bat, and then hit this dagger in the 8th to take the Donkeys to 6-0. Something is brewing in Shanghai, and you are all witnessing history. LaSteroid then starts the first road game of the year in Tampa Bay by tattooing this ball, calling to the bullpen, stiff-arming the third base coach, and then doing the signature LaSteroid Airlines celebration home. Then takes the bat out of his shoulder and send this ball through the dome to Disney World. LaSteroid got bored in his 3rd at-bat and decided to mess around with the Rays' poverty defense. Look at him absolutely fade-dangle and finesse these idiots and come home for an easy inside-the-park bunt home run. Bro is Lightning McQueen. Not sure why this video cut off, but it's safe for you all to assume that he was safe at home. LaSteroid smacks another 450-foot smackaroni ding-dong ditch Swamp Donkey in his next at-bat and does his signature routine around the bases. Call to the bullpen, stiff-arm the third base coach, and fly home. You guys should know the drill by now. The Shanghai Swamp Donkeys swept the series to take them to a solid 9-0 start to the season. Time to head to Baltimore to dismantle the Orioles. Cedric Mullins tries to out-clever the Donkeys with a little bunt to start the game, but LaSteroid gobbles it up and lasers his sorry self at first base. That is absolute peak male performance right there. LaSteroid annihilates a tater-tot souvenir in his first at-bat in Camden Yards. Then, of course, rips the LaSteroid signature around the bases. It's crazy how LaSteroid has more followers and subscribers than the game itself, and MLB The Show still refuses to name this animation after me. They won't be able to ignore me much longer.
Joe Boy.
Daddy Hack IV silences the poverty Baltimore crowd with this perfect bye-bye baseball sizzler to extend the lead. He gets the nod of approval from his hammered coach, sipping on his brew in the dugout as Superman floats into home plate. Rumor has it number 39 was sent back down to single A after LaSteroid demoralized him in this at-bat here. Even the catcher is just taking in greatness behind home plate. LaSteroid gets back to the dugout and cussed out his teammates, calling them washed up, cause he is literally a one-man team. Watch this parking lot pummel stadium shaker as Daddy Hack rolls his bat back at the pitcher for him to rethink his existence. He runs the bases backward and rips a 360 on third base just to rub it in. The Swamp Donkeys are now 12-0, but the whole Swamp Donkey pitching staff just got diagnosed with COVID-20, so LaSteroid is going to have to pitch the next game against the Orioles. He comes out of the gates with some filthy cheese and strikes out the side immediately. This is going to be a long day for the Oriole batting lineup. In the top of the 2nd, La Heater blows the ball past Anthony Santander, Adley Rutschman, and puts this no-name bum away in 3 pitches with these masterpiece mound missiles. Bro grew out the filthy stash for his pitching debut today. The 3rd inning was more of the same, as he put the first guy down with 3 Mona Lisa missiles and made this clutch play to keep the perfect game hopes alive.
Here's a high chopper. The throw to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Orioles held in check there, and we are still scoreless.
LaSteroid gets out of the 4th with no trouble with some more strike zone symphonies.
Out on strikes for the 2nd time today.
As we head into the bottom of the 5th, it's important to note that since LaSteroid is not in the batting lineup, the Swamp Donkeys may not put up a single run. Look at the GOAT staring menacingly at the batter before he sends him back to the dugout with that Da Vinci delivery. And then gets the next 2 bums with some bewildering backspinners. LaStrikeout struts off the field as we take another look at that absolute filth. Still scoreless both ways. Time for the 6th inning. LaSteroid gets the first whiff wizard with a wacky whirligig, gets the second batter with a jelly bean junker, and then puts the 3rd idiot away with a loopy lollipop cheese ball. End of the 6th. Still tied at 0. The 7th is a little more of the same as LaSteroid continues his biggest I am him moment of all time by painting the corners against the first 2 batters, and then fools the 3rd jag into swinging at some nonsense. But LaSteroid has had enough of watching his team be runless, so he illegally subbed himself into the batting lineup.
Look out. That one is absolutely belted. That's got a chance.
He smacks a 2 RBI piss missile to get the Swamp Donkeys on the scoreboard for the first time of the day. Then, against all odds, he strikes out the side in the 8th, taking him 1 step closer to the history books. If he pulls off a perfect game, everyone has to hit that subscribe button. You're either with LaSteroid or against him, and I wouldn't want to be against him.
As he begins the 9th inning, working on a perfect game.
Offensively on their toes.
Gunnar Henderson goes down in 3 pitches to start the 9th. Then this next trash can swings at some high cheese for the 2nd out. What an idiot. 1 out to go, and LaSteroid goes deep into his pitching arsenal to give out some masterpiece pitches and puts this bum away in 3 pitches. That's a game for the ages right there. A 2 RBI perfect game. I'd like to see Shohei Ohtani do that. LaSteroid is the greatest 2-way player of all time.
Perfect ending to a perfect game.
Just unbelievable. I was nervous up here in the booth. I can only imagine what his teammates and even he felt out there on the mound closing this thing out. Everyone will remember this perfect game, and it'll be notched in Cooperstown forever.
Stepping in is the speedy Big Daddy Doughboy. 1 for 1 with a single so far. In the air, right center field. This is demolished. Way back and gone.
Coming off the perfect game the night before, LaSteroid sends that baseball into the parking lot. Then in his next plate appearance, Bro smacks a piss missile into the gap and turns on the Jets for an easy stand-up triple. And then I am sure you can assume what's going on here as LaSteroid pummels one to left center for a double. That's a cycle, baby.
Around third, Mateo with a relay home. And that's what he needed. He has done it. What a performance at the plate.
LaSteroid closes out the long Orioles series with this extra inning dagger. I think it's safe to say the Daddy Hack is the king of Baltimore. While LaSteroid rounds the bases, I wanted to thank you all for 300K subs. We went from 200 to 300 in 14 days. LaSteroid loves you all. I am coming for that 1 million play button, y'all. Now on to the Mets.
Here's a big power threat. Big Daddy Doughboy. He hit a grand slam his first time up. In the air, right center field. This is demolished. Way back.
Holy.
And gone.
LaSteroid just pummeled that ball into orbit. That baseball went 564 feet.
The right-hander back to work. Swings
then I'm his next at bat. He outdoes himself again, hitting this baseball 574 feet. What a day at the plate. And that's all you guys need to see from the Mets series, because it's the Mets, you know. The Shanghai Swamp Donkeys swept the Mets with ease, and now move on to the Chicago Cubs. LaSteroid welcomes the Cubs to Shanghai with this launch pad, lunch circus shot kaleidoscope knock, and then recreates Kirk Gibson's iconic celebration. And then another one, and then another one. The Cubs are still drowsy from the 18-hour flight to Shanghai. In Game 2, Daddy Hack sends a blast-off bopper skyrocket sizzler bomb to Kingdom Come,
Home run!
and then does a little trust fall with the third base coach. But somehow the game is still tied at 13 in the bottom of the 10th.
As they like to say, light tower power. Not a big guy, but a big swing. And thunder in that bat. Oh, and this one's blasted. High and deep. It's on its way. Out of here. Ball game.
LaSteroid takes care of business to keep the Swamp Donkeys' undefeated season alive. LaSteroid reads all comments, so let me know what you want to see next. Let's keep taking over the internet together. If you made it this far, comment your favorite LaSteroid family member and I'll reply to all of them. Once this video hits 5,000 likes, I'll post the next part. LaSteroid loves you. Peace.